All right, welcome back, everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back with some more Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay cast action. It's going to be time for another one of these AlphaStar videos. I know you guys have been loving them. I have been enjoying casting them. So we're just going to check out another one of these. It's going to be on the map Cyber Forest today, and it's going to be a Terran versus Zerg. And versus a GM Zerg at that, so AlphaStar taking on another Grandmaster, and I'm just excited to see how this one gets to play out, because it seems, at first, I'm gonna be honest with the AlphaStar, I was like, all right, let's see it. It's just gonna be like a normal AI, right? That'll be kind of boring in a sense, but after casting like a fair few of these games now, I'm like, oh my gosh, every single game is different between these players, basically. Like it seems that every game with AlphaStar, there's something else cool going on. So that's why I'm enjoying continuously casting more and more of these games until we're out of AlphaStar. Then that'll be a sad day. But fortunately, there was a lot of replays released, so I can cover a lot of the games. I'll probably do another one of the cheese ones again. Check out some more of the cheese versus AlphaStar and things like that. But yeah, just jumping on into this game here. We're going to talk about exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing AlphaStar open up with a good old Reaper expand. Seen it do this build once or twice before. Meanwhile, its opponent, Grandmaster Zerg, is going to be just playing pretty normally here as the Z. And yeah, so we'll just have to wait a minute before things start heating up like any old StarCraft 2 video. And while we are waiting for things to heat on up, I'm going to go ahead and say, make sure to press that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try and break 3 1/4 likes. If we can do that, that would be fantastic. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you've been enjoying these kind of commentaries, I do a lot on the channel, so consider pressing that subscribe button. Now, though, we've got that Reaper popping on out here for AlphaStar. It's going to be doing its thing. It's going to be jetpacking across the map. It's going to run into this drone. Is AlphaStar going to be able to deny the hatchery? No, it is not, as that drone dives into the extractor. Oh, the Reaper jumps on up. AlphaStar, though, backs on out with that Reaper, not losing it. AlphaStar, for those of you unaware, can sometimes be a little bit sloppy with its Reapers. It's not the best babysitter. Or not the best Reaper sitter, I guess. Reaper just runs on up, getting that scouting info, sees the third base. It's like, well, I see it, and I'm a robot, so I'm going to figure out what's the next best thing to do. I'm not going to pretend I know what goes on in AlphaStar's mind when it sees a Zerg doing normal Zerg stuff. It's just got its own process that it goes through. The Reaper is kind of just, okay. Wait, is the Reaper trying to see across there? It can't actually, so the Reaper's just hiding out over there, all the while the Zerg's Overlord is getting shot at by this Marine once or twice, so that's kind of cool. The fact that the Reaper is just hanging out there, it's now going to run towards the third base, but like, the third is still there, and then it's going to try and jump on up, and it's going to die. So it's a sad day to be one of AlphaStar's Reapers once again. The Grandmaster Zerg showing just good understanding of the early game. Whether playing against a robot or not, you just gotta shut down that Reaper scout. All the while, AlphaStar gonna be going for a pretty standard build. Very common, actually. Just the choice to go for just a stim pack, a 1-1-1 basically, but then you throw up the stim, probably a third base after this. AlphaStar is going for a medivac and making Hellions, so the third isn't gonna be super duper quick. It will be coming along. It'll be coming down the pipe, though, at some point. Hellions crossing the map for the Zerg, going to be trying to get something done to its opponent, or Hellions crossing the map towards the Zerg. AlphaStar going to be trying to get something done. Now, this Zerg has actually been a little bit greedy. No, a bunch of extra lings pop out. For a second, it looked like there was just like 3 Zerglings there to defend, but no, it was actually a lot more back there for the Zerg. They get in place to defend in time, and we take a look. That was 2 Hellions for 5 Zerglings. That is a net positive if you are the Zerg, without a doubt. These Hellions also they're gonna head on home. Their tail between their legs as they've been battered and bruised a little bit. We'll see if AlphaStar is gonna drop Hellions. I haven't ever seen it do an actual Hellivator play just yet, which it'll try and, like, say, unload the Hellions into the main base of the Zerg or something like that. We could be seeing that play this time around now, though. Just a handful of Hellions, the few Marines going to be moving across the map. I'm not sure what else to expect from AlphaStar. I honestly expected a third base, because that's usually how Terran will open up. But AlphaStar is going to be two-basing it for now versus Zerg. Going to be trying to put the pressure onto its opponent. And we're going to see if that's going to work out for AlphaStar. Usually you got to be pretty precise with the two-base, because you're really giving up a lot of economy throwing up those extra barracks before the command center. AlphaStar is going to have to be on point trying to kill this Grandmaster Zerg. For now, it's probably going to want to scan, maybe clean up this creep. Nope, it's backing on out of there. It does have energy, and AlphaStar is hecka supply blocked right now. I mean, I looked at it a second, or hella supply blocked. I looked at it a second ago, and it was still supply blocked. Now it's just fixed that. An AI still gets supply blocked. Oh man, it's a sad reality where even a robot can't build supply depots at the right time. There we go. Now it's building a bunch, but it still did get supply blocked. So take note of that. I'll have to check out the endgame statistics or something like that. See how many seconds AlphaStar was supply blocked. And yeah, we'll see a command center on the way here for AlphaStar. So it is getting up a third, but it's pretty darn late. 6 minutes compared to what it could have been is late. Definitely, a few of these units get left behind. Others are going to load up into those medivacs, so it's a sad day to be these guys here, as the few Hellions and Marines loaded up on in here are not going to get anything done either. AlphaStar's attack just doesn't seem to be working, though. As I say that, I kind of jinxed it. The Hellions do get on in, but yeah, no, the Zerg player is on point here with defending this. AlphaStar's attack just got shut down. GM Zerg players seem to be doing pretty well versus AlphaStar, as it's not super fine-tuned, it would seem. It has the idea to go for harassment and attacks and stuff, but generally Zerg players are usually very good at defending, because that's a big part of the race. And so the GM Zergs are just like, you're going for this odd attack versus me, I'll just defend it like I defend, or like I'm used to defending every other attack. And now we take a look here. The Zerg, I think, is in a pretty alright spot, up to 63 drones, getting up that fourth base. All the while, AlphaStar has just finished up its third command center. It's adding on more barracks here. Such an odd supply depot spot. This SCV looks so pleased with himself, too. If we could see his face, he'd be smirking, just building a depot there randomly. And it seems AlphaStar probably going to be building a big old mass of siege tanks, as per the usual. Oh, these queens in position. Uh-oh, this could be bad for AlphaStar. Oh, it loses a full medivac. It's a bad day to be one of AlphaStar's units here. Now, I am curious to see if this game, ladies and gentlemen, if AlphaStar is going to build up a ton of siege tanks. In the past, it just built a ridiculous amount in some of my other videos that I've done. Like, it just had more siege tanks than Marines or things like that. So I'm honestly down for it. If we just see a robot that's really good at building tanks, I'm completely fine with it. Interestingly enough, AlphaStar getting its +1 armor. Does already have its +1 attack, though. And then, yeah, I mean, we see the Zerg or the Terran player going to be trying to secure the third. Interestingly enough, that command center is like, nope, there's Ling there. I'm going to fly on over to this base. That's an interesting thought process from AlphaStar. The command center just changing direction. And then all the while, we've got a bit of a drop still going on, but AlphaStar's harassment is definitely on point here, as it's going to fly around. It's going to see the Banelings and the Queens, but oh, it's a bad day to be those Marines as they unload right into the Banelings. AlphaStar still just building more and more siege tanks here. It says make tanks. It's actually kind of walling its natural in with siege tanks. It's like, the Zerg can't counterattack. You don't need supply depot walls. That's so 2018. It's time for siege tank walls, as that's where it's at. AlphaStar, though, I mean, honestly, its TVZ seems to be a little bit interesting. It just makes tanks and Marines, and then it just loses a lot of things. So we'll see if it can do better. I mean, it's kind of interesting how it's always still, like, on even supply, but then it just seems to have such bad occasions. Like, lost a few Marines there. AlphaStar is still just making siege tanks. It is currently up to... how many siege tanks are we looking at? 5 siege tanks. A new command center was being attempted by the AI. As it's mining at its third, it was trying to get up a fourth. All the while, just going to be dropping on over. This Zerg player, though, seems to be pretty content. Just defending this harassment. Oh, this full medevac, it's almost full and it's gonna die. Oh, that's a lot of dead Marines. Fortunately, it was all tactical as AlphaStar lifts up those Marines into the non-injured medevac, but a fourth base is just not happening here for AlphaStar. It would seem this Zerg player making a lot of banelings here. Not sure what he's gonna be looking to get done with those, but for now, the Zerg just gonna be getting up an Ultra Cavern. He has attained the Hive, which, for those of you unaware, a Zerg with a Hive, it's a big upgrade. It is a much better, it allows you to do a lot more as a Zerg, because you can make things like Ultras, you get the 3-3, the Adrenal Glands upgrade, which makes the Zerglings attack faster. A drop is going off at the fourth base for the GM Zerg. Let's take a look. Medivac is, one of them dies. AlphaStar's just not having it. The harassment for AlphaStar is not on point. It's just having a bad time. Now, though, we are going to be seeing AlphaStar move on out. It's got the big army. The siege tanks are there this time to actually help buffer. The question is it going to get caught on siege? That seems to happen a fair bit of the time. A ton of Lings are coming on in. We're seeing the Zerg player planning a big counterattack. These Marines are going to say, uh-oh, as they're trying to run away from Banelings and Lings pursuing them. AlphaStar is actually going to be retreating with its Marines. Can it save all of the SCVs at the third at least? Yes, it would seem that it can. But that was a big counterattack from the Zerg. The third base of AlphaStar just getting shut down. Or the fourth base, pardon me. And there's another big Ling counterattack getting planned. And this is a ton of Zerglings. It could actually turn into a wraparound, though. We just have to wait and see. The Marines for the Terran player are going to be looking to push on in. But there's that big Ling counterattack. Once again, SCVs at the fourth. Or at the third, gonna have a bad time. The fourth base just completely gone as it gets canceled yet again. AlphaStar can't get a fourth base. It's just quarter past not happening. This Zerg player cuts the worker count down a lot. And while army supply actually favors AlphaStar, this Zerg player is just relentless with its counterattacks. It seems like it's just like a classic AI thing, in which it's the thing you do in like a 2000 video game, like a year 2000 video game. You just like pull the AI back and forth because it's just a simple loop. The Zerg's like, yep, time to counterattack. AlphaStar is probably going to pull home. We'll see, though. Oh, these Marines are going to have to run away. There is a ton of siege tanks set up. The Marines are tightened back for AlphaStar, but there isn't a ton of splits. And all of a sudden, we watch AlphaStar just get wiped out. There's a ton of medivacs left over for the Zerg, but AlphaStar is still not getting up a fourth base. It's just destined not to happen. And while AlphaStar is making Marines, it just seems that its overall TVZ plan is just not there. It had its army wiped. Again, it's going to be, or it was thinking of going for a drop. But yeah, I mean, this Zerg player just doing exactly what he needs to do. Playing the defensive game, going for the counterattacks really is a bonus on top of that. AlphaStar is going to move out with some Marines, but it's just not good enough at dodging Banelings. You got to be able to dodge Banelings if you're a Terran, whether you're an AI or you're a human. And we see AlphaStar is now just kind of heating across the map with his medivacs. It's like, all right, I got this. I got this, guys. I got a medivac per Marine. We're gonna make this happen. The Marines unload. They're gonna skedaddle on out of there. This is actually such an AI thing I'm seeing right now. AlphaStar gonna be flying across the top here with its medivacs. It's gonna get shooed away. 5 Corruptors on the way for the Zerg. Gonna be looking to trying to shut this down for good. And AlphaStar, while it's trying to secure up a fourth base, it's finally floated over its main base. It's producing tanks, it's producing Liberators, it's doing what it can, but it's having itself a real bad time. So Marines trying to defend the third base. These guys are gonna try and run away. More Marines are coming on in, so I mean, this AlphaStar still has the income, but the problem is it's going up against a late game Zerg. And what it's been doing so far hasn't instilled a lot of confidence. The Corruptors are also hunting down these medivacs as AlphaStar had so many medivacs here, but they're all gonna die. Oh, the humanity. There's so many Marines in these medivacs, and they were just running. They're like, there's Zerg on the ground, there's Corruptors in the sky. I don't want to do it, but they're gonna unload. They're abandoning ship, unloading on top of those Banelings, making the explosions happen. And AlphaStar just having a bad go. 2 medivacs are going to make it into the main base of the Zerg. Maybe some units are going to unload, but yeah, there's Lings waiting for him. This is a bad time for AlphaStar. A ton of Marines now with 1 medivac. So if you're Marines and you're going to try and cram into this medivac when the Zerg comes in, you're going to have... All right, place your bets. Which Marines are going to make it in? Because the Banelings and Ultras are coming on in now. Oh, the Marines are running. They're like, oh, there's Banelings. Oh, the answer is none of them make it in. As the Zerg just crashes in and crushes AlphaStar's army. We take a look here. Marines are moving on out for AlphaStar. The Zerg player could be getting baited into some siege tanks, perhaps, and Liberators. But at this point, there's just so much Zerg. AlphaStar is going to run back. It's going to retreat for its life. The Zerg player, though, just has so much. Ultras and tanks crashing on in. The Liberators getting dealt with by the Corruptors. The AlphaStar has walled behind it, but the Ultras crashed through that, no problem. The SCVs are done at the 4th. AlphaStar is securing up a 5th base as this is going on. But yeah, it's not happening. This is going to be a bad time here for AlphaStar. Got that one siege tank doing its thing on the high ground. And yeah, AlphaStar loses its natural. The 3rd base is about to go down. I mean, it's built itself a new 5th base, though. You got to give it to it. Yeah, AlphaStar definitely needs to work on its TVZ. I don't know, maybe practice with, like, a real robot, like Innovation or someone. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this Grandmaster Zerg basically wrecking AlphaStar, and AlphaStar just being a big derp as always, make sure to press this, make sure to press that like button, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Otherwise, I shall see you next time. Thanks for watching.